Hey, we're live. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. We're going to do a little piece of a new article that just came out April 2nd. I've been hanging on to this for a little while. It came out of the University of Columbia that talks about a trial drug that can significantly block early stages of COVID 19. And they did this study actually in engineered human tissue. So this wasn't done in a monkey, wasn't done just in a petri dish at a lab. It was actually done in human engineered tissue. So this is, in my opinion, an early, and I'm talking about here we are 4 months into this outbreak, that this international team found a bit of hope and that they could have a trial drug that could effectively block this. So I'm giving this to you as words of encouragement that, we get through the frustration of what we've had to live through, all of that it's done to us, the damage it's done to our economy, that at least something's in the works. So when those fear mongers out there that you hear every single day, just listen to CNN and you'll hear it every day. It's going to come back. It's going to be worse than ever. It's going to come back in the fall. It's going to be worse than ever. We're never going to get rid of it. It's going to be around forever. Well, if this team has its way, and on April 2nd, they already had a breakthrough, they're going to be close. Because wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have to go this vaccine route, which I don't think is going to work, but we can get involved in a drug that could actually knock this thing out. Okay, here's what the article says. First of all, let me give you the numbers here where you can reach us here at the office, 678-228-8900, 678-228-8900. An international team led by the University of British Columbia. Researcher Dr. Joseph Penninger has found that a trial drug effectively blocked the cellular door that SARS-CoV-2, the coronavirus, uses to get into your body. I've done numerous shows understanding how it gets in through our lungs, through these receptors at the base of both hemispheres of our lungs, which made a lot of other people, such as diabetics, hypertensives, obese, much more prone to this as there's been more and more strain on the lungs. But they said they got a drug that could literally go to those doors, if you want to call it, and close it. So that almost, I hate to say it, almost like a vaccine could protect you from getting it. Now, I'm sure, in the world of viruses, we know that it will change eventually. I personally think it's on its way out right now. It's on its way of burning out, just like SARS did. There hasn't been one case of SARS in well over a year. And where'd it go? Where'd it go? It changed. It self-destructed, or did we just build up a herd immunity to it? The findings published in the journal called Cell hold promise as a treatment capable of stopping early infection of the novel coronavirus that as of April 2nd affected more than 1 million people and claimed more than 50,000 lives worldwide. That's in April. It's gone up quite a bit since then. The study provides new insights into the key aspects of SARS, coronavirus 2, the virus that causes COVID-19, and its interactions on a cellular level, as well as how the virus can infect blood vessels, kidneys. Now, I've done shows on this also, that we understand that this virus, different than all others, gets involved in the heme, H-E-M-E, of your red blood cells. It's being transported through the body that way. And it basically breaks apart that part of the red blood cell and releases iron into the body, which can then basically kill your kidneys. Cellular shutdown, metabolic waste overload, you die. It's scary to think that a virus did this on its own. Different than anything else. We're hopeful our results have implications for the development of a novel drug for the treatment of this unprecedented pandemic, says Penninger, University of British Columbia Faculty of Medicine, Director of Life Sciences. This work stems from an amazing collaboration among academic researchers and companies, including Dr. Ryan Conders. Now, this is cool because Dr. Ryan Conders believes, we know that it enters through the lungs. I believe there's a second port of entry through the gut. This is where this Dr. Condor works. He's a gastrointestinal doc. He works in Vancouver. And then a Dr. Nuria Montserrat in Spain, Dr. Hebo Zhang, Toronto, and Dr. Ali Murazimi's infectious biology team in Sweden. So this was a international collaboration. Came up with some ideas, planted the ideas in a lot of different research facilities, and they all started to work on it. It goes on to say, they've been working tirelessly, day and night for weeks, to better understand the pathology of this disease and provide a breakthrough therapeutic option. ACE2, a protein on the surface of the cell membrane, base of the lungs, is now at the center stage of this outbreak as the key receptor for the spike glycoprotein of SARS coronavirus 2. An earlier work, Penninger and the colleagues, University of Toronto, in the Institutes of Molecular Biology in Vienna, first identified ACE2 and found that in living organisms, ACE2 is the key receptor door entry for SARS, the viral respiratory illness recognized as a global threat in 2003. His laboratory went on to link the protein to both cardiovascular disease and lung failure, two causes of death in people that have succumbed. While the COVID-19 outbreak continues to spread around the globe, this is April 2nd, the absence of a clinically proven antiviral therapy or a treatment specifically targeting the critical SARS coronavirus 2 receptor ACE on a molecular level has meant an empty arsenal for healthcare workers struggling to treat the severe cases. Our new study provides a much needed direct evidence that a drug that they've come up with called APN-01, human recombinant soluble angiotensin converting enzyme 2. You don't need to know that. Soon to be tested in clinical trials by the European biotech company Apeiron Biologics, is useful as an antiviral therapy for COVID-19, said Dr. Art Slesky, a scientist at the Keenan Research Center for Biomedical Science at St. Michael's Hospital, professor at the University of Toronto. In cell cultures analyzed in the current study, this HRS-ACE2 inhibited the coronavirus load by a factor of 1 to 5,000 in engineered replicas of human blood vessels and kidneys, organoids grown from human stem cells. The researchers just demonstrated that the virus can directly infect and duplicate itself in these tissues. This provides important information on the development of the disease and the fact that severe cases of COVID-19 present with multi-organ failure and evidence of cardiovascular damage. Clinical grade HRS-ACE2 also reduced the SARS coronavirus 2 infection in those engineered human tissues. It passed the test. Using organoids allows us to test in the very agile way treatments that are already being used for other diseases or that are close to be validated. In these moments in which time is short, human organoids save the time that we would spend to test a new drug in a human setting. The virus causing COVID-19 is a close sibling to the first SARS virus, added Penninger. Our previous work has helped to rapidly identify ACE2 as the door, the entry door, for SARS coronavirus 2, which explains a lot about the disease. Now we know a soluble form of ACE2 that catches the virus away could indeed be a very rationable therapy that targets specifically the gate the virus must use to infect us. There is hope. That's why I did this today. There is hope for this horrible pandemic. See this on the news, did you? This research was supported in part by the Canadian federal government through an emergency funding focused on accelerating the development, testing, and implementation of measures to deal with the COVID-19 outbreak. I like positives. I do. Story number 2. No offense now meant at all in those that have been hand making cloth masks. Medical mask. I pulled a study that was published in the British Medical Journal. Can't talk with this one. Done at the University of South Wales in Sydney and Hanoi, Vietnam, University of Sydney in New South Wales, Beijing University in Beijing, China. Copyright by the British Medical Journal. The aim of this study was to compare the efficacies of cloth masks to medical masks in hospital healthcare workers. The null hypothesis was there was no difference. That when you made your homemade mask, it worked as well as this. So what they did is they went into hospital wards and were randomized into either wearing a medical mask, wearing a cloth mask, or no mask. How do you think it did? Here's the results. Very simple. The rates of all infection outcomes were highest. Cloth, medical, none. The rates of all infection outcomes were highest in the cloth mask arm, with the rates significantly higher in the cloth mask arm compared with the medical mask arm. Cloth masks also had significantly higher rates compared with no mask. I've been questioning this all along because the study goes on in depth to say that the materials for which we're using are not in any way blocking or protecting us. In fact, all it's doing is having us harbor our own bacteria back into our bodies. This study is the first of its kind that says cloth masks should be used with great caution. This is an important finding to inform occupational health and safety. Moisture retention, reuse of cloth masks, and poor filtration may result in an increased risk of an infection compared to no mask at all. If you have a cough, if you've been diagnosed with it, wearing a cloth mask will stop you from spreading it somewhat to others. Penetration of cloth masks by particles. If you didn't wear a mask, obviously it's 100%. If you wore a medical mask, it protected you to the extent of 56%. 44% got through. How well do cloth masks protect you? I'll let you think about it for a minute. If I'm saying that this protected you to the extent of 56%, 56% of any particles are blocked, which means 44% still got through. Penetration of cloth masks by particles was at least 97%. It protected you by 3%. Moisture retention, reuse of these cloth masks, and poor filtration would end up with an increased risk of infection. Not a fan. Not a fan. Get these. So, what did we learn today? There's a drug coming. I think it's going to be much better to have a drug like this than worry about that day coming where we need a vaccine. And if you're going to wear a mask, get a medical mask. Unless you're coughing, unless you are the one that is having difficulties, then by all means, wear it. Tomorrow, we're going to get a little bit off kilter on this, and we're going to go to obesity and its risks for type 2 diabetes. And again, I'm going to have everybody just take a good, strong look at your weight and where you are now. and be able to understand why does excess weight lead to obesity? No. Why does excess weight lead to diabetes? That's better. Okay, one more time. The number to reach us here is 678-228-8900, 678-228-8900. Our website is thenutritionshop.net, THE, thenutritionshop.net. God bless you, folks. See you back here tomorrow. Take care.